What's good, everybody? Free agency starts tomorrow, and the Utah Jazz just released that they are open to trades for Lauri Markkanen, and that is the best news any Sixers fan could hear. Daryl Morey, we need a Lauri Markkanen. We need a guy that can play with Embiid, help Embiid with the defensive load, help Embiid with some rebounds, and also help him with the offensive load as well, right? Lauri Markkanen can honestly do anything on the court, right? He's a great stretch big. He can honestly dribble the ball a little bit. He can pass. He can play defense. Like, this guy should be the guy that we target. And when you look at our trade pieces, we really don't have much to trade, right? We would probably trade all of our picks. We would probably trade maybe one of our rookies. I don't think we could trade a rookie. I really don't know what we would trade. We don't have a lot of trade pieces, right? Maybe a Paul Reed. I mean, the Utah Jazz did sign Paul Reed, and we matched the offer, and he came back to Philly. So this is a team that wanted Paul Reed, right? So I mean, I'm open to that trade. I think that's a great trade for us. Maybe not for them, because we know how Paul Reed is in the playoffs. Almost unplayable. But when you think about it, we did play the Knicks, who have, pretty tall big men. So that also could be an issue for Paul Reed. But yeah, Lauri Markkanen would be great. I feel like if we had a Lauri Markkanen, he would probably play the Tobias role, right? And this guy he's definitely way better than Tobias. And Lauri Markkanen, great pickup. And obviously, the other guy we could trade for is Brandon Ingram. The Pelicans just traded for DeJounte Murray, so I really don't know what the Pelicans are doing. They may be honestly trying to build a stacked roster with Brandon Ingram, DeJounte Murray, and Zion, which, that's not a bad team, but they're not going to win anything. They're probably going to make the playoffs, probably 7th seed, 6th seed, getting swept in the first round. So yeah, if they want to rebuild and grab some pieces around them, they should trade Brandon Ingram for some pieces, right? Some first-round picks, maybe a player that could help them off the bench, right? Like, they got to start looking at this. If the Sixers can find a way to get Brandon Ingram, this is another guy who's going to fill in a Tobias role, a guy who's better than Tobias, a guy who's younger than Tobias, and a guy who is not going to average less than 10 points in the playoffs. Yes. And if we don't get either of those two players, there's still a lot of players out there who are open for trades. And Daryl Morey knows that. And one of them I want to talk about is Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant was on the Sixers during the process era. He wasn't a great shooter. He was always an athletic guy, right? And it's amazing to see what he developed into. Now he's averaging 21 points per game, shooting 45% from the field, shooting 40% from three. That is amazing numbers right there. That is better than Tobias Harris. And if you trade for this guy would be in the Tobias role, right? But he's a better defender than Tobias. He's a better shooter, and he's just more aggressive and more athletic. So, I feel like this would be a win trade for us, and we may not have to give up as much, right? The Trailblazers are going to be rebuilding. At least they should be rebuilding. So, yeah, that's definitely one of the players I think we should trade for, but there's a couple more I want to talk about. Grant Williams, that's another one, a guy who was on the Celtics. He was a rival for a couple of years. He's on the Hornets right now, and Hornets are not a winning team. Obviously, Grant Williams wants to play for a contending team because he has throughout his whole career besides this year. I feel like he'd be a great player for the Sixers, right? He would come off the bench. He would do all the little things. He would get rebounds. He would play excellent defense. He's not a bad shooter either. He's gotten better throughout his career. I think Grant Williams could help the Sixers a lot. He would probably play that P.J. Tucker role when P.J. Tucker's on the Sixers, but he's more fluid offensively. He can honestly shoot the ball. You know what I mean? He's good. It's going to be better than P.J. Tucker. It's basically a better version of P.J. Tucker. So, yes, Grant Williams. I would love the Grant Williams. We definitely don't have to trade a lot for him. Maybe 3 second-round picks. You can probably get him straight up. So, yeah, that's why I would like this trade. So the next player I want to talk about trading for is Kyle Kuzma. This guy, obviously, he gets a lot of hate. He's on the Wizards. People say he's a loser player, but he does have a ring in his career. So, you can't take that from him. This is another guy who would play the Tobias role and would definitely outplay a Tobias. He would definitely average more than 8 points in the playoffs, or at least I hope. But yeah, this guy can shoot. This guy can rebound. He's a better rebounder than Tobias. He's a decent defender. I would say he's a Tobias level defender. You know what I mean? But offensive level, he's way better than Tobias. So yeah, I would love a Kyle Kuzma. Hopefully, we wouldn't have to trade as much, right? Because Kuzma has a pretty big contract as well. And they did just draft Alex Sarr with the first pick, who's basically like a Kyle Kuzma. Just doesn't dribble as much. So I feel like they need to kind of get rid of these guys like a Kyle Kuzma or even a Jordan Poole. Like, they're not going to help you win. So, yeah, Kyle Kuzma would definitely help the Sixers in many ways. But the last guy I want to talk about, last person I would want us to trade for is Cameron Johnson. The Nets are looking to trade Cameron Johnson out of the Nets. They just traded Mikal Bridges for like 6 first-round picks. Obviously, they're going to get less for Cameron Johnson. Hopefully, we can give him 1 first-round pick and I guess a mid player like Ricky Council. I mean, I love Ricky Council. Maybe Turk, right? Or someone like that. Because Cameron Johnson, man, this guy's an excellent shooter. This guy's a decent defender, and he can dunk a little bit too. I like this Cameron Johnson pick. I think he's a very sneaky top-tier role player because this guy can jump on a team and just change, not change the identity, but he can shoot lights out being 6'9". You know what I mean? Like, that is like Michael Porter Jr. level, right? This guy doesn't shoot you out of games. He shoots good shots. Decent defender. Like I said, he seems like a nice guy, like good character guy. Him and Tyrese Maxey would definitely bond 100%. Maybe McCain, I don't know, but this guy is one of the guys I've wanted for many years. I'm just hoping Daryl Morey is taking this offseason like his job is on the line, because it really is. This is going to be his last season if he can't create a solid roster, man. Like, it's been 5 years. I don't know how many years. I'm saying 5 years that you couldn't fill out a correct roster around Embiid. It's not hard to build your team around a center that can shoot. Like, Embiid can shoot. It's not hard to fill a roster with players who want to play for Embiid. It's not hard, bro. It really isn't. Cameron Johnson is a player that would be happy playing with Embiid. Find players who want to play with a guy like this, not players that have to change their game like Tobias Harris. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear another player that's talking about sacrifice. James Harden talking about sacrificing, playing with Embiid. Tobias talked about sacrificing. How about just play basketball? It's not about sacrifice, bro. Stop it. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. A little rant at the end. If you liked it, drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. And yeah, by the way, I'm going to be covering the Summer League, of course. I love Summer League basketball. So yeah, just wanted to state that. But yeah, have fun, guys. I'll catch you guys. Peace.